Hello and welcome to another episode of the Goal Line Conversation TV. My name is Michael, and today we're going to do a preview of the Chelsea versus PSG match that is going to play tomorrow. If you're watching this, I probably will drop this early tomorrow morning, depending on how quickly I'm able to edit and put things out there. But if you're watching this, this is my own take on how I feel the match will go. We'll talk about starting lineup for both teams. We'll talk about what chances both teams have, and lastly I'll give my predictions on who I think is going to win it. Obviously, it's not going to be a shocker. Who you think I'm gonna choose. But let's get into it. So Chelsea versus PSG. PSG have been. Let me start with PSG. PSG have been a phenomenal team throughout this competition. They have shown, and it's not only this competition. They've shown it throughout the Champions League. They've dominated teams. They've the word is they've walked all over some teams that you feel like no, you can't do that to that team. And this is starting not only from their domestic league. We know PSG typically they win that every time. They don't need any introduction, they don't need any new sign, they don't need any tactical genius for them to win their domestic leagues or their domestic cups. But what you saw from PSG and the Champions League, how they went through the likes of Arsenal, they went through the likes of who did they play? They didn't play Madrid, but they went through the likes of Arsenal, beating them comfortably when everybody thought that, wow, Arsenal, after just defeating and just embarrassing Real Madrid, that Arsenal going to stand a tough test against PSG, and PSG showed that, look, we're not going to be walked all over. We know why we're here, and they showed that class by going all the way to the final. And the final, when you saw the final, you were like, wow, this is a Inter Milan team that are defensively just solid. They don't concede a lot, except from when they played against Barcelona in the semifinals. They don't concede a lot. They're very, very tight. They're very organized. They have a very dynamic way of moving across the pitch. A lot of a lot of players on that pitch know how to play different positions and how they move the ball from Izagi, who was the former manager. You were like, wow, the PSG team was good. They were going to face a tough test, and until we saw what the final was, and PSG absolutely demolished, destroyed. They sucked the confidence out of Inter Milan from the first half. We were stunned. Everybody watching that Champions League final was stunned on how easy PSG were. They dominated a a very very complete Inter Milan team, and they just made it was so easy for them. And we were shocked. They shocked the world on how they played beautiful football, and I'm expecting that again. And they've shown a lot of that even during the Club World Cup with the oppositions that they faced. They absolutely walked all over Inter Miami. They showed their class against Bayern Munich, even though they were a bit wasteful, but they showed who they were, and they absolutely I don't want to use the word, but they destroyed Madrid. Like they have this capacity to just look at a team, and very very quickly, they can easily just dismantle a team and just suck the life out of them, suck the confidence. If you think you're gonna come back against PSG, well, think again, because they will outplay you, they will outrun you, they will outwalk you. And that's the kind of PSG team that we're looking at as we go as Chelsea goes to play against them in the final. And Chelsea, you're looking at the Chelsea team who, by all accounts, they've done what is expected of them, beat the oppositions in front of you. Even though a lot of those oppositions don't stand the test that PSG have faced. Chelsea have faced the likes of Palmeiras. They've faced the likes of Fluminense to get to this final. They faced the like of LA Galaxy or I forgot. Yeah, LA, is it LA Galaxy or LA? I don't know which one of the LA teams. They faced Flamingos, the Flamingo team who defeated them, and you are thinking, wow, Chelsea must have gotten they got the lucky number in the lottery, and they just sailed their way pretty all the way to the final. And a lot of people are asking, well, they have not really faced any challenging teams yet, so it doesn't look like they stand a chance against PSG. But the beautiful thing about football is that football is not only just played on paper or um based on different scores of who you have played before. Football is played in a 90 minutes game where 11 men go on the field and basically try to prove what they have to offer. They go at it, they go back and forth, they show their passion, they show their desire to win. And that's how football is played. A lot of times football can be football and the unexpected happens. Like for example, PSG absolutely dominating Inter Milan in the final is what nobody saw coming. Everybody knew that PSG was good, but we didn't realize that they were going to be that good, just annihilating a opponent's just desire to want to play. Do you understand how embarrassing it is for a Champions League final for the referee to blow at the 90th minute? No extra time was given. There was no extra time given. They didn't even give them a sniff, not even to score a goal, not a consolation goal. That's how effectful and how dangerous PSG is. So when Chelsea is facing a team such as that, you can understand why people's rhetoric is like, wow, this is not going to be a fair fight. This is gonna be a one-sided game. Chelsea's not going to have a lot of possessions because you've seen a lot of the reporters that have mentioned that. And in as much as a Chelsea fan, you want to believe what everybody's saying. You want to be like, man, PSG just have mercy on us, make it like a 1-0 or 2-0. Don't roughen us too much. We are still young, we are fragile. And my response is no, we do not accept that. As a Chelsea, as a Chelsea football club, rich in history of winning as underdogs, we do not accept that narrative. We do not accept the narrative that we are going to go into that final begging and asking for at least amount of goals coming out of that. We're going out there, especially Enzo Maresca with the boys, to basically go out into a match and be fearless. That is what I'm expecting from Enzo Maresca and his tactical approach to this game. I'm expecting a fearless formation. I'm expecting people to play in the place that they're supposed to be played in. I'm expecting a recognition and respect of your opponents, but at the same time, not giving them the leeway to just walk all over you. So tactically, I'm expecting Enzo Maresca to come in with the reinforcing the minds of this young team that this is not a team. PSG is not a team that you can switch off on. You cannot switch off. You have to be on for as many a minutes. If it's 90 minutes, if it's 120 minutes, you have to be alert on all those different times in the games. And yeah, that's what I'm expecting from Chelsea. That's what I expect. That's how I expect they will approach the game. And I'm really for some reason, from weird reason, and you there's a surprise that is coming up. If Chelsea do win this, I have a surprise lined up. So again, that's why it's when we say turn on your notification bell so you can know when that video drops. There's a surprise video. If Chelsea win, there's a surprise video that I've prepared especially for this occasion. If they don't win, that video never sees the light of day. It just gets it goes into the archive, destroyed, like it never happened. But I feel so confident for Chelsea as a team, as a fan. Uh, what's the worst? We got nothing to lose. We've done what we need to do. We've Chelsea as a recruiting organization, as a club, as the board, they've backed this team. They've made necessary signings to even join some of these players midway through. So the likes of Joao Pedro coming in and just showing that he's ready to step up and grab the position that he wants by the scruff of the neck. The likes of the lap coming into that, there's basically saying, look, I have something to prove. I'm not just a relegation local champion. I'm coming in here, grabbing the number nine, the so-called cost number nine, and I'm coming in here. We have the likes of Caicedo. Caicedo being an absolute monster in this competition. I have the likes of Enzo, who are showing people gradually that look, the 115 million that they paid for me is not a fluke. I am worth the money, and I'm going to show over time. And he's beginning to show that. He's not there yet, but he's showing that. I have the likes of Cowell, Chaloba, showing that defensive resolute at the back. Malogusto showing that okay, he can start understanding what Maresca's tactical formation is. James being fit, Cucurella just doing Cucurella things. I got nothing. Pedro Neto has actually been outstanding in this tournament. So there's a lot of there's a lot of individuals that I expect a lot from as we go into this match. So very quickly, I'm going to go into the lineup. What I expect Chelsea to line up as. I expect Chelsea to line up with I think it's 4-2-3-1. Typically that's what we play. So I expect Rich James at the back, right back. I expect Cowell. I think it's going to probably go with Chaloba because of how quickly a lot of the PSG players are across the pitch. So it's probably going to be Cowell, it's probably going to be Cowell and Chaloba at the back. Left back is obviously going to be Cucurella. Caicedo, I am praying that he's fit because he did twist his ankle. Nicolas Jackson. My God with Jojo, Nicolas Jackson. I don't want to digress. But I'm hoping Caicedo is fit so he can actually start in that double pivot. And then Enzo Fernandez. Honestly speaking, the way I actually let me take that back. I think it's going to be Andre Santos because given the fact that there is a possibility that Caicedo might not be fully fit, I think it might probably will go. It probably go with Andre Santos to help provide proper coverage for Caicedo, and then the three up top is gonna be Cole Palmer on the right side, Enzo Fernandez in the middle. We're probably going to have Joao Pedro on the Pedro Neto on the left, and then the lap up top. That's my variation of I think what is going to start with. Potentially, the change it might probably go with it might end up switching. Maybe Fernandez will partner up with Caicedo if he thinks he is fit enough to handle that defensive responsibility, and then Pedro Neto will probably play, and it will be Joao Pedro. It will be a combination of Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto, and Kopama. That's the only slight variation that I think would be different is that it might be Andre Santos in for Joao Pedro or just the reverse basically. So that's my expected lineup. And then for PSG, I expect them to go with and then Sanchez obviously in goal. For PSG, Donnarumma in goal, Akimi on the right side, Marquinhos, is it Parejo? I think I've forgotten the name of the second defender. Pacho has been suspended for this game. Obviously, Nuno Mendes. Then they're going to go with Vitinha, Joao Neves, and Fabio Ruiz. I think he's probably going to go with Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and then Dewey on the right side. I think that is preferred lineup as when it comes to Luis Enrique. So I think that's probably what you're going to see in the final. There is a slight tweak. There's a slight tweak possibly from Enzo Maresca that he has the ability to be able to do. But honestly speaking, I'm expecting a very very um interesting tactical approach from both teams. I've seen PSG's pressing; they are relentless in how they press. So I know it's not going to be a walk in the park, but this is how I think this is how I see the game going. I think very quickly Chelsea is going to learn that they cannot just be they can't be passing the ball at the back as they want to, even though Enzo Maresca would want them to do that. I think what you're gonna see a variation of kicking the ball in, the lap using his presence to be able to try and control the ball. You're gonna try and see Kopama kind of coming into the game, trying to basically disrupt and keep Nuno Mendes pinned back. You're also probably going to see Pedro Neto also trying to keep Akimi more focused on the defensive responsibility because I think that's probably going to be the best measure is that if you can keep Nuno Mendes and Akimi focused on defensive and not attacking responsibilities, it gives us more chance to be able to contain Kvaratskhelia, contain Nembele and contain Due. It's not going to be an easy task, but I think that's probably how Enzo Maresca is going to try and approach it in order to destabilize this sort of fluid transition from defense to attack from PSG. What are my predictions for the game? I believe that this is going to be a 2-1 um match, and Chelsea, obviously I'm going to go with Chelsea winning this by 2-1. I don't perceive extra time or penalties from this. I think whoever's going to win it, they're going to win it in 90 minutes. So it's going to be a 2-1 win for me. That's my prediction from Chelsea. Hey guys, let me know what your thoughts are about this. Do you agree? Do you disagree with my predictions for this game? And hey, whatever the outcome is, this this Chelsea team definitely show a lot of ambition. They show a lot of potential, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring, what they're gonna do in the 2025-2026 season that is coming up. But definitely, let's go Chelsea, up the Chelsea. I think Chelsea are gonna win this 2-1. Let me know what your score predictions are. Drop it in the comments. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree. If you're a rival fan, if Chelsea wins, especially if you are in the realm of the Arsenal, the Man United, prepare to be sick of me. I'm just saying. If we win, if we don't win, hey, you could go take your banter, take your shots. Hey, I keep quiet. But if we win, prepare to be sick of me. I'm telling you, I'm warning you. All right. Peace, like, subscribe, and comment. Bye. Peace.